1979, my mother brought me to this country to pursue a better future than she had in her developing country. Sorry. I remember one hot summer day, we settled into a disadvantaged community. We lived in a very tiny trailer. That trailer had a very tiny shower where it fell right over the toilet seat. And the sink wasn't any larger than my hands. I remember one hot summer day, she gave me $5, and she said, "You are to go to the grocery store and buy a packet of corn tortillas, lettuce, tomato, and ground beef." I had to walk 7 blocks, but to a starving child, it was more like 7 miles. On my way home, I ate that tomato. It was really delicious, just as good as the one we had yesterday. So I got in trouble. I wasn't the only one starving at home. Things got a little difficult for my mother and I. Soon after that, I ended up in the foster care system. I never returned home. 17 years ago, I started working for Esperanza. Esperanza means hope. Our organization provides hope to the poorest communities in the world. In Phoenix, Arizona, where I work, we provide hope to communities that have very little hope. I met Savannah. Savannah, when I met her, she was this little tiny girl who reminded me a lot of myself. She had a lot of determination. She also was a foster child who lost a brother to a drunk driver, and she was being raised by her grandparents. Savannah took our nutrition class. During this nutrition class, she learned about prevention. She learned about diabetes, high blood pressure, and oral health prevention. Throughout Savannah's course, we were also able to help other community members. There's a fine line where families or individuals fall into crises, where I find myself not only blessed but also lucky to have been able to overcome. But what about others that have not been able to be so lucky? Only if they have been able to find the resources like Esperanza that have been able to get them through. The communities I work in, I can relate to them, they can relate to me. As I drive through those communities, I see that starving child. I can't remove myself from there because they understand me. I speak their language. They see Esperanza in me. Savannah is now about to go to Arizona State University, which I've just helped her with a scholarship last week. Her hope, her dream is to become a social worker. Perhaps she'll be a healthcare worker, and she'll be up here telling her story. Savannah is excited to see what her future has in store for her. Hopefully, one day, she'll be up here telling her story and the communities that she works in. Thank you.